Every single day, I wanted to quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go to the gym anymore. I didn't want to talk with God anymore. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to read the Bible. I didn't want to do any of that. Because I didn't see the point. I didn't see the point. I felt like if I would have just disappeared, that everyone would have been better off without me. That everyone would have been happier if I would have been done off this earth. That I would have been gone completely. I always felt like everyone would be happier. That everyone would be better off. I wouldn't have to worry anymore about wasting people's time. I wouldn't feel like I'm a waste of space because I would not be here anymore. For the longest time, that's how I felt. It made me have to get hospitalized because I was having suicidal feelings. I was having ideas of stuff to do. But I know that I wasn't actually going to do it. I had ideas of what it is I wanted to do. In 2011, I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but I knew that I would not do it. Because I know now, that the pain I wanted to end, it was the pain inside me. Ending yourself doesn't end any pain. It just gives that pain now to other people because they wish that they could have been more helpful towards you, but they never knew because you didn't tell them anything. You were dealing with this on your own. You were fighting so many demons on your own every single day that no one knew about. And so that would be the pain that now you are giving other people. You end the pain on yourself, but now you're giving it to other people. But now you realize that it was never the pain now you realize that it was the pain inside you that you wanted to end. And then once you realize that, then everything changes. You start to realize that it's your habits that need to change. It's your actions that need to change. It's how you talk to yourself. It's how you show up for yourself. It's who you surround yourself with. It's everything. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes on the outside if nothing changes on the inside. So many of us focus on the outside change that we forget it starts with the inside change first. And that's what I thought. I always felt like, oh, okay, in order for me to change the inside, the outside needs to change first. But that's not true. In order to change the outside, you need to change the inside. Because the outside is a reflection of what you think about. The outside is a reflection of your mindset and what it is you think about every single day. The habits you do, the actions you take, that all is because of the mindset that you have. So all the pain that I was going through, I never knew at the time it was because of what I was doing, how I was showing up for myself, how I was talking to myself, the actions I was building, the habits I was taking. I never knew that it had anything to do with that. But then eventually I knew. But at the same time, for the longest time, I always said that it was because of the gym that saved my life. But it wasn't because of the gym. It was because of God. It was because of God why I'm still alive today. It was because of God why I never ended my life. All I used to tell people was, oh, it's because of the gym why I'm still alive. It was never because of the gym why I'm still alive. It is because of God why I'm still alive. And I've been saying that, lately to this day, that it is because of God why I'm still alive. But let this be a reminder that everything that God puts us through, everything that God puts you through, it's not meant to kill you. It's never been meant to kill you. It's been meant to build you into the man or woman that God wants you to be for the future that only God could see. You can't see the future. All you can see is this day that you have control over. Only God could see the future. So what God puts us through, what God puts you through, it's not meant to kill you. It's never been meant to kill you. It has always been to build you into who He wants you to be for the future that only God could see. For the people He wants to bring in your life. For the people that are already in your life. Because you want to become the best version of yourself. You want to become the man or woman God wants you to be. Not only for yourself, but for everyone else around you that God brings into your life. What are you saying to inspire them? What are you doing to inspire them? How are you showing up for them to inspire them? All of that matters. Because of the mentality that you have the mentality that you have, the mindset that you have because of what God put you through. The vision that God put in your mind. You need to have the right kind of mentality. You need to have the right kind of mindset that aligns with that vision that God gave you, or else how do you expect to get there? How do you expect to get to that vision that God gave you if you don't have the right mentality to be able to get there? You don't have the right mindset. You need to have the type of mindset where you know you believe in yourself no matter what, and that you are going to get there by any means necessary. It doesn't matter what life throws to you. You're not going to give up. You're still going to put in the work every single day no matter what. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. God gave you a vision, and so now every single day that you wake up, you know already what it is you need to do. God already gave you a blueprint. The blueprint is the vision. The blueprint is the mentality, the mindset. The blueprint is the actions you need to take, the habits you need to build. That is the entire blueprint. And now all you have to do now is to stay consistent with it every single day. Is it going to be easy? No. It's not going to be easy. But then once you finally get there, once you finally get to that vision that God put into your mind, all of it is going to be worth it. All of the hard times you had to go through, all of the sacrifices you had to make, all those times you wanted to give up, but you did not give up. You still kept on going. When you finally make it to the top, when you are finally living that life that God put into your mind, you are going to be so happy because of everything you went through. You are going to be so happy because you never gave up, because it is because of what you went through that helped you to become who God wants you to be. The mindset, the mentality, all of that was to help you to get to in life where God wants you to be the man or woman that God wants you to be. Nothing is by mistake in this life. God does not make mistakes. God does not do anything in our life by accident. There is no pain without purpose. All of the purpose that God puts us through. There may be pain behind it, but there is a greater reason behind it, but we can't see it yet. But then later on in our life, we are realizing why we had to go through that pain, why we had to go through that discomfort. And now we're thanking God for why it happened. Because now you're able, I'm able to now help other people who are now in the same position that we were once in. We're able to give them advice, wisdom, knowledge, encouragement that maybe no one is giving them. That's why God put us through all these hard times. That is the other reason why I got into fitness coaching. Because people may be going through the same thing now that I was once going through. And the advice that no one gave me, but now I know, now I can give them that same advice. The same encouragement, the same wisdom, knowledge that God has given me. Now I can help them. So none of what God puts us through, none of this pain, none of this discomfort, heartbreak, none of it is meant to kill us, but to build us into who God wants us to be for the people that He wants us to help for the better. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Because it's important that you focus on the mentality before you focus on the body. Because as great as your mind is, your body will match. You want to have a great body? Start with a great mindset, and then the rest will follow. But it's not have a great body, but then your mindset sucks. It is all about discipline when it comes to doing what is right, when knowing what is right. Is it going to be easy? No, but you have strong discipline in knowing that you have to do what it is you know you do, to do what it is you know you need to do to get to a life where God wants you to be. You need to have a strong enough why. Why am I doing this every day? Why am I working this hard every day? Why am I doing this, and who am I doing it for? You're doing it for your future self, but you're also doing it for your younger self, and you're also doing it for everyone who believes in you, and you're also doing it for those who doubted you. That's the reason why you're doing it, and that's the reason who you're doing it for. Never forget those two most important things. On the days you want to give up, on the days you don't want to continue anymore, think about why you are doing it, and think about who are you doing it for. And then when you finally realize those two things, you are never going to give up. Because you know that God did not bring you this far does still bring you this far. You came this far for a reason. The last thing you're going to do right now is give up. That's not an option. Giving up is not an option when you have God in your life. Praying to God is an option. Asking God for wisdom, strength. Those are your options. Giving up is not an option. You came this far for a reason. All those tough times when you thought you were going to give up, look, listen, you didn't give up. You still kept on going. You already withstand. You already made it through all of the toughest battles in your life. You can make it. You are a lot stronger than you think. When you know that you have God on your side, you can withstand anything. Because any battle that is in your life, God has already won it. You need to know that every battle you face, God is already with you. God has already been in that battle. It's been in that battle before you ever experienced it. Again, you're going to have days when you want to give up. You're going to have days when you want to quit. You're not going to want to do anything. You're not going to want to put in the work that aligns with the vision God gave you. Nobody's perfect. We're all going to have days like that. But think about this. Do you want to have an average life? Or do you want to have an above average life? Because if you want to have an above average life, you're not going to care how you feel. You're going to put your feelings to the side. And you're going to put in the work that you need to put in that aligns with the vision God gave you. Or if you want to have an average life, you're going to let your feelings determine everything. You're going to let your feelings control how you live your everyday life. And then you're going to wonder why nothing changed. It's because you cared more about your feelings than you did about the vision God gave you. And when you live a life like that, nothing is going to change. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. That's it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's, again, when it comes to my own journey, there's been so many days, like I said, that I wanted to give up. I want to give up every single day. But then when I think about the vision that God gave me, I know it's not by accident. The vision He gave me, it's not by accident. The mindset that I have, it's not by accident. The mindset, the mentality, the habits, the action, everything. None of that is by accident. All of it aligns with the vision that God gave me. And it is up to me every single day to put in that work every single day, no matter what, even if I don't feel like doing it. Because then at the end of the day, if I don't feel like doing it, that's me telling myself that I don't care about my future. And I don't care about what's it going to look like. And I don't care about my future self if I don't even want to put in the work to, become that future man. To get that future life that I want. If I don't even want to put in the work, if I don't want to build the habits, if I don't want to take the action, if I don't want to do any of that, then that's me telling myself and my future that I don't care about my future self or my future. And that I'm okay with how my future is going to be. But then if I say that, then I know that I'm lying to myself because I know that that's not true. I know that that's not true. God did not bring me this far just to bring me this far. God didn't bring you this far just to bring you this far. But again, if there's anything that I want any of you to take from this, if there's any sort of lesson that I want you to take from any of this, it's that if you have made it this far, if you have watched this video up to this point, then you know that you have the right mentality. You know you have the right vision. You know what it is you need to do to become successful. You just need to get after it every single day. Talk with God every single day. Read the Bible every single day. Journal every single day. Meditate. Really close your eyes and imagine a vision that God gave you. And then do what it is you need to do every single day. And you will be so proud of yourself and never giving up. All it takes is 1 year. 1 year to change your entire life. I believe in you. You could do it. Keep on going. Much love.